again, normally this would be pencil. I just want you to really see the lines. That's why I've got a pen in my hand. One of the reasons we got these rulers in your kit is because they have this metal edge so that you can use it when you're cutting something with an X-Acto knife. You never cut against the plastic because you'll chink up your ruler, you know, and it's too flexible also. So we got that issue. That's one thing it's for. But the other thing is it's got this lovely graph paper on it, okay? So if you have something that you need to quickly do, like what we did with your maps, where we drew out the plan for your project, can you hand me that one just a sec, Shani, so it gets into video and it matches what's going on? Okay, so you guys made one like this that had your margins drawn in, and we sketched in the places what was going to go in each quadrant. We're going to make this in class today. We're going to actually complete the thing, I think. But let me show you how, if you were here with this, we knew that we needed a margin that went around the edge that was 1/4 of an inch. And if you were using a ruler that's got a grid on it, this has got kind of like little sticky feet on it, which is a bit awkward, but it's going to work. See, these are 8-inch squares. Okay, so you just put the ruler too near it. You know, it's like you don't have to measure. You are measuring, in the sense that you are paying attention to a value. But see how much faster that is to measure and draw than going in here and going marking it. When you've got a grid on your ruler, it's a tool that will really help with that. So then, whoops, I should have taped this down because it's creeping around, which makes it look weird in the movie. But so be it. Now, how big is this piece of paper again in inches? Yeah. Okay. So how big is each quadrant of it? Thank you. Each quarter, how big is that?
4.5 by 5.5.
Almost. 5.5 is right, the longer way. How big is the shorter way?
3 3 3/4.
Paper. 4 1/4 when we cut the paper. Okay. All right. So, yeah, the 3 3/4 is going to show up in just a minute. Okay. Now, if I make one mark and I go like that to divide up, what happens? It's a straight line, but it's slanted, right? So we know how you've caught on to the idea that you always need to connect 2 points so that you get a better guarantee that you're really getting accuracy. And actually, the farther apart they are from each other, the better. Because the longer a span you go, the more accurate it's going to be. And we try to draw light lines when you're using your pencil so you don't get that heavy grid thing, you know, where it's too fat and you can't tell what the measurements are. So once you get a line in there, then here we have, again, you can use the 1/4 of an incher. Most of the time, we use normal numbers when we do things in the graphics world, because that's what everyone expects, and if we use funky dimensions and things that aren't standard, it just makes it take longer, and because it's not familiar, and then when somebody else looks at it and has to do something with it, they go, what is this, and why is it like that? Because it's not normal, you know? Everybody expects things to be the way they are, typically. And that's not a bad thing. One of the reasons we have standards is so the basic stuff we can do once and then reuse it, and we're not using it over and over and over again. Yeah. So then we're here. We got a 1/4 of an inch again. Now, so yesterday in class, when the other section was here, these lines are too far apart. I changed the subject in the middle of what I was saying. These lines are actually not quite accurate because what's happening to me with this pencil is the point of the pencil is fatter, or the pen is fatter, and it's moving the pen away from the line. But if I were using a proper mechanical pencil, I'd get a nice clean line that's where it's supposed to be. The distance from here to here is too fat because I'm using a pen, and the fatter part is running across the ruler. That's another reason to not use a pen when you're drawing lines, because you won't get a fine, true line where you want. Okay, so yesterday, we were using step and repeat to build the grid, and we're going to do that again on yours. But let's assume this is the top for a minute here. People were confused about whether they were repeating horizontally or vertically. And all it takes is a couple people to be confused, and then their buddies help them, and pretty soon half of us have lost it. You know, we're not together anymore. So when we draw a horizontal line, and we want more of them, the step and repeat is a vertical amount. Vertical is how much does it go up and down. And so when we go down 1/4 of an inch apart, it's a vertical change. It's not changing horizontally, it's changing vertically when we go down, okay? So down is a positive number. In this case, we're going to do these in the upper grid there. How far apart? What's it say in your plan? One. Yeah, 1/4, right. So we're going to draw one line like this, and then they're going to be 1/4 of an inch, step and repeated down from here until we hit right here. And then we're done, okay? They go in like that, okay? Then we make one line over here that goes from here to here, and then we go across like that. So they go this way. So the second step is to go across, and working from left to right is a positive number again. If I were making something that I wanted to repeat the other way, I'd use negative in the repeat field, and it will go the other way. But it's just like a physical ruler. When we move from 0 towards the bigger end of the ruler, we're going right, okay? And if we had a physical ruler on the page turned this way, because here's where 0 is, where the origin, a positive number, as it gets bigger, we're going down, okay? That's why it's like that. So negatives go the other direction. Good? Okay, now over here, we are going to run into a little glitch. And again, this was something that stopped us dead in our tracks. And I maybe should have thought about it ahead of time, because I didn't mean to set them up for people going, what? I didn't mean that to happen, but it kind of did. So over here, how far apart is the grid going to be? I heard somebody go, that's right. How much did you just say? Yeah, 6 to the inch. Okay, 6 to the inch, or 1/6 inch, or 1 pica. This is going to be a pica grid. Okay? Same principle, but the lines are closer together. So if the lines are closer together, are there more of them or fewer of them? More of them. There have to be more of them to fill up the space if they're closer together. Okay? Now, so if we work with picas down here, we're going to switch the preferences in our ruler and decide back and forth. So when you're measuring in inches, the rulers are in inches. When we come down to this cubby and we need picas, the rulers are in picas. Because it doesn't make sense to use rulers that don't show what we want to see. Okay? And when it's in the software, you just right-click and change it. You know, back and forth as much as you need to. So when we get down here, we're going to have not a perfect distance that fits in picas, because this is in 1/6 and that was in 1/4. Okay? But we're going to end up with a line here. It's going to be off a teeny tiny bit, but we'll be fine. It's going to be 22 picas long. It's going to almost but not perfectly fit. That's all right. So this line, we're going to have whole numbers. And it wasn't supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be fast and easy if you use the ruler that matches what you're doing. Okay? So this line's going to be 22 picas long. And when we do the step and repeat on it, they're just one whole pica apart. And they just go like that.